everybody. Today we are in Llano, California. And you might wonder, well, what's the big deal about Llano? Well, as you can see, we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. This is a series of ruins, and these ruins are from the early 1900s, 1917 to be exact, when they actually first built a colony here. And this colony was built as a socialist experiment. Literally, they came here, wanted to be away from everybody, practice socialism, and build a community. And they did just that, but it didn't end so well. What we have left here is a bunch of ruins that I'm going to show you. It's withstood the test of time in terms of some of these ruins, but the colony didn't, obviously. I'm going to get into the history of this a lot more, but first I want to walk around and check this out and get some cool footage of what's left behind here. Robert Miller. Robert is from this general area, and in the Boy Scouts he learned an awful lot about this and has been tremendously helpful.
You can find remnants of walls and foundations.
Yeah, that's
all
what
over
I was
the area.
wondering. I'm like, the rocks are definitely very purposeful. I'm like, I wonder what that was.
Yeah, there's walls and stuff. Yeah, they had to keep the town organized.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was a lot of the walls and stuff that you see were shared homes originally.
Oh, okay.
So we were just informed by that gentleman that this was where they stored grain mainly. This was an office, what we're actually standing in now. And then this was the storage on each side here. So where this road goes through is like a mess hall community center. So we're gonna walk up there and have a look at that. I did get it with the drone, but let's walk through it. Come on. So we're now standing right in the middle of the community center. Apparently this road probably didn't go through the middle of it at one point. Nice multi-purpose room. Let's look at this structure. So one of the main things that brought this down literally was just the fact that they got their water cut off, essentially. What was this? You remember a grain tower?
Maybe some sort of just water storage?
Well, if it was water storage, there isn't any left. Somebody brought their fine china out here. I mean, honestly, this place actually was reminiscent of one of these hippie communes in a way, but this is, you gotta realize, this is 1917. So by the 1920s, the early 1920s, this started to really peter out. Once the water started to go away, the jobs started to go away, and the people started to go away. At one point, there was over 1,000 people here. So Job Harriman was a lawyer who ran for mayor in 1911, and he failed. He didn't get it. Got a pretty high percentage of the vote, 43% of the vote. Wasn't horrible. But he didn't make it. He got disgusted and frustrated, and he bought some land here and then started to turn it into a communal place based on socialism, because he was a staunch socialist. So that was a different kind of controversial way of looking at things back then. Today that becomes a very divisive word.
this was. Yeah, we probably should have walked on the other part.
Vintage nails.
How pretty, look, fireplace on either end.
I know. I want to see pictures of what this made.
I know, me
look
too.
like.
I bet it was gorgeous.
So right now, back then, you would have been, we're suspending time, you would have been standing in what looks to be the lobby of the hotel. You got a fireplace on each side, and you wonder, wow, it's so arid and hot out here, but you got to realize this is a high desert. So at nighttime, it gets very cold, actually, especially in the winter months. I mean, this could have been one of the structures.
Yeah, that looks like an outbuilding or something there. This goes out pretty far too.
I don't know what this structure is
I don't
over
either.
here. Let's take a walk over here. Now, keep in mind, these people moved here, families moved here to either stay in a hotel or in a tent until they could build a house. And there was everything here. I mean, they built literally barber shops and a library, a school, all kinds of industry was built, blacksmithing shops, I mean, you name it. They were building it and sharing it, and that's why it was so communal. This is where, like in the 60s, when there was these hippie communes, and they were based on like sort of socialist ideas where everybody shared and all that kind of stuff. Some of the more square people would say, oh, you're a commie or whatever, and that's where some of that stigma came from. But back in 1917, it was just another party, kind of. So this could have been another adjunct to the hotel, who knows? Or it could have been some big house. I have the feeling it was part of the hotel because it looks like maybe rooms.
Yeah, this looks like there's a definite wall here, for sure, running down the middle.
Yeah, it looks like 1, 2, 3, at least 4 subdivisions here. Yeah, they pretty much had everything, except they didn't have water.
They did. They had mentioned that the creek here that supplied the water here also supplied several other close by areas, and the farmers were not digging the fact that they were taking their water.
I mean, a modern day example of this might be Slab City.
Milk glass, so that's like turn of the century, yeah.
But somewhere over in this area, there was a maypole, like a religious pagan one, where they had these big, look like silks. And that was kind of, I don't know, a Celtic thing, if I'm not mistaken. I wish we could find out exactly where it was. And by the way, out here, the army ants are as big as your fist, okay? So, and snakes. What about that? What is that?
Well, it's right in front of the hotel stairs, so
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
just
it was
like
a
a little planter, a fountain, yeah. Decoration for the entrance, you know? That's what it looks like.
This was just, you know, a wall of some kind.
Or maybe just a little courtyard area. Oh yeah, look. All the like glassware and stuff. Yeah, see? See, like this is the older stuff, which is very cool. So this probably was some kind of a eating area. This may be the, you know, the pantry where they stored the tableware. Very cool.
Yeah, this could be a little house.
That's what it looks like.
Well, I mean, the other thing is they had outhouses back then. So most likely the bathrooms were not in the house.
I mean, there's still wood left in this, whatever this was.
Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of structures.
I know.
Holy smokes. Looks like that photo.
Another foundation to something right here, too.
Oh yeah.
Watch out, there's rebar. All
This is more than just a can that was laying there. Somebody.
probably to patch the floors. That's what they used to do back in the day.
That's
when
right.
there'd be a hole in the wood.
Yeah, good thought. See, I knew I brought you for a reason. Oh, that's right. You're the one that told me about this.
Look, all the wood is still here.
So amazing.
And look at old stovepipe.
Yeah, it is.
These were the gardens, maybe?
Maybe. But there's more barbed wire fence around here, which makes me think this was like an animal area.
Oh, it goes right through the damn ant pile, of course. Yep. It's not barbed wire, though. But definitely part of a fence.
Yeah, there's one, and there's one. And maybe that hump right there. And that hump, like it's that one, it's like everywhere.
Another one, another one.
Yeah, it just looks like dozens of structures. And like now that my eyes trained to how these structures look now, I can look across and see just dozens.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
You know, there was probably people buried out here too.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. What did they do? I mean, were they here long enough to have established like a cemetery or?
Well, I'm sure people did pass away. I don't know what that is. That's so crazy. Another one, partially buried.
You can still read the. There you go. Can't read the rest of it. Can you read that at all?
It seems like we know more about the Incas than we do this
right,
group
I
of
know.
people. And this was 100 years ago, and those were thousands of years ago. All right, so I would say that's it for the ruins, but it's not. It seems like it just goes on and on.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's an end to it. There is that silo we looked at. I think that might be old. That might be from the Llano. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks, Lauren, for coming along. Take care of each other and keep rock alive.